Hello friends, I am Ingale, Assistant Professor in Department of Chemistry, RBNB College, Srirampur. Now, in our previous lecture, we have studied about the stereochemistry of SN2 reaction. In this particular lecture, we have to study SNI reaction, that is internal nucleophilic substitution reaction. Now in this internal nucleophilic substitution reaction, generally we have to study mainly the attack of thionyl chloride on alcohols. Now this SNI reaction is nothing but the internal nucleophilic substitution reaction. In this reaction, the product which we formed or the product which we obtained has retention of configuration, Now we know that what is meant by retention of configuration. It means whatever the configuration of chiral center of or chiral center present in the reactant, it will be retained in the product. It means if the configuration of chiral carbon atom of a reactant is yes, then it will be retained. It means that configuration is remain same of the configuration of chiral carbon atom of product. Now for this SNI reaction, we mainly use reagent thionyl chloride, that is SOCl2. This thionyl chloride is nothing but the chlorinating agent which can used to convert alcohol to alkyl halide. Now we have to see the reaction of this SNI reaction. Just I have already told you that in this reaction we have to convert what? We have to convert alcohol into alkyl halides. When this alcohol, that is ROH, is treated with thionyl chloride, that is SOCl2, we will obtain alkyl halide, that is we use here halogen chlorine atom. That's why we obtain alkyl chloride with the liberation of SO2 and HCl. Now we know that generally this SOCl2 is used in anhydrous condition. For this reaction we have to use what? Anhydrous condition. For example, when this ethyl alcohol is treated with thionyl chloride, we will obtain ethyl chloride plus SO2 plus HCl. We will obtain this ethyl chloride as a product. This is the simple reaction of SNI, of internal nucleophilic substitution reaction. Now in our next topic we have to see the mechanism of this SNI reaction. Now Now, generally for this mechanism, here we discuss the reaction of SOCl2, that is thionyl chloride, with chiral center. For that purpose, I use this mechanism. Here I use chiral molecule, that is S alpha ethyl, S alpha phenyl ethyl alcohol, that is phenyl alcohol or ethyl alcohol. We know that the oxygen atom of this OH carries lone pair of electron. It carries how many? 2 lone pair of electron. That's why this oxygen atom of this molecule behaves as a nucleophile. Now, this nucleophilic oxygen atom attacks on this sulfur of this thionyl chloride, which results into the elimination of Cl. Now the eliminated Cl negative abstract this proton and we will obtain, it is the slow step, and we will obtain what? This intermediate, that is now we will obtain this molecule as a intermediate. Now in second step, this carbon oxygen bond break to give intimate ion pair, which is nothing but the formation of carbocation along with this anion. This is nothing but the intimate ion pair, because it carries nucleophile as well as electrophilic species. Now this intimate ion pair undergoes a reaction to give alpha phenyl chloride as a product with the liberation of CO2. This is nothing but the mechanism of SNI reaction. Now, generally, the formation of this intimate ion pair, is shown by the next reaction. It means this intimate ion pair will be formed in this mechanism or not, it can be proved by our next reaction. When this molecule is treated with thionyl chloride, we obtain generally we will obtain two products, but when we study this reaction, actually the only one product will be formed in this reaction. Now this will be the first product which we have to see is either obtained or not. When we study this reaction in detail, we observe that this compound not formed, whereas this compound is observed or is formed in this reaction. This compound cannot be formed, whereas this compound will be formed in this reaction. Now for that purpose we have to study the mechanism of this reaction. Now in this mechanism, the intimate ion pair is formed, in which this molecule secondary carbocation is formed, whereas in this molecule tertiary carbocation is formed, and we know that the stability of tertiary carbocation is more as compared to secondary carbocation. That's why, due to the formation of tertiary carbocation in the mechanism of this reaction of this molecule is observed as a product in this reaction, whereas due to less stable secondary carbocation, this molecule cannot be formed in this reaction. Now when this is all about the mechanism or intimate ion pair. Now the last concept of this topic, is that when we use this SOCl2 molecule, that is thionyl chloride, in presence of pyridine as a base, if this reaction is carried out, that is, if SNI reaction is carried out in presence of what? In presence of pyridine. It means when this chlorinating agent, that is thionyl chloride, is used in presence of pyridine, instead of retention of configuration, we obtain what? Inversion of configuration. We obtain inversion of configuration, which is not actually included in our syllabus. Thank you.